I think our bard's here.
And so Sandy takes 70 points of acid damage.
Again?
And again this round. And let's see, what is that? That burns his scrotum off, doesn't it? Is that right? And
I can't see his dick.
I can't see it from here. I think he's so I think he's dead. I think he's
that's real death.
That's real death. That's permadeath right
He's
there.
turned into a puddle.
That's it. He just
I'll tear up his character sheet.
I'll rip up his character sheet. Yeah. I'm curious to try this.
Yeah, I saw that. It was like,
Yeah.
It has real juice in it.
I don't know how I feel about real juice finding its way into my Mountain Dew, but I'll give it a try. I'll reserve my judgment till I see that. I don't know about this.
I'll tell you something.
A little bit wrong.
Don't like juice that much.
It's kind of like how if I open up a Taco Bell wrapper and the lettuce and cheese isn't falling out into my lap.
And if I have any feeling that's real beef.
Yeah, I don't feel I've gotten the real Taco Bell experience unless it just explodes when I open the wrapper. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
I said that to Emma one time. I had like their fresco taco or some fresco something, and I ate it, and she was like, "Oh, is it not that good?" And I said, "No, it is, and that's the problem." Like it's kind of like I don't know. Like I don't mean that in a real bad way. I mean like when I go to Taco Bell, like I know
I expect to be underwhelmed.
I expect to be underwhelmed.
I know what I'm
getting, and that's,
I know the type of people who work there.
That's kind of what I want too. It's weird, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like you had a good taco. That means someone did their job at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Which makes you think, like, that's just super sad.
Oh man, yeah.
Like, this person likes making tacos at Taco Bell.
Oh no.
Oh, there's too much pride went into this taco.
But it's a weird. I don't know. I was really conflicted. I was like, this is a strange feeling, but it just kind of like how sometimes you just want like a sloppy burger.
Yeah.
That was like the feeling that I had. That I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want this. I just want to.
It's supposed to be too greasy.
Yes,
flavor
exactly.
in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just want.
I'm just looking to fill my food hole.
I'm just here for empty
Yeah.
calories. Like I don't want to.
Or maybe it should be. Yeah.
Experience.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yo.
What's
up?
Woke up this morning in Indianapolis.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's
that's crazy, man.
Time to hit the road.
That is crazy.
Time to get over to D&D.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm late.
No, you're cool. We kind of
Do
ended
this.
up talking a bit. We were eating a little bit upstairs too. We just kind of gotten down here anyway. That's a little treasure chest.
You haven't seen that before? No,
I used to keep it out here, but
I remember
I keep some of the healing potions and stuff like little like prop items.
Sweet.
The stuff I kind of keep in there. Some of the dice.
It'd be fun to try and make one of those. I think you should give a shot at trying to make one. Make one of your own.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Something for Linnea or
be-
something
that's-
to keep the family that
That's
you
the
made.
other thing that I
These
think
are cool.
Inspiration Day.
New colors like Sesame Street. What's this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had them for a little while. I just haven't been using them. They're little rainbow. I thought about it as like little Mario Star rainbow power-ups when I saw them, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool looking something.
Nice.
Awesome.
And so what I did is those two dice up top.
Yeah.
I've arranged your spell
These?
slots in order. You burned through all your 3 and 4 slots when I was looking. We're picking up right where we were left off. So I listened through and kind of. I think everybody is just going to be at full health because I was not going to track all of that. But I just kind of, while I was painting and like looking at some stuff, I listened to when you were burning spells and I just ticked them off for you.
This is when we were running down the hallway.
Yeah, I want to kind of go back a little bit. I think I want to start off when you had kind of figured out this was real Derek.
Yep.
And like I said, I was like I wasn't terribly sick, but I was a little bit sick, and I kind of I felt like I just stumbled across the finish line at the end.
Sure.
So one thing I really goofed, people kept checking cells. There are no other people in the cells, but they did keep loot treasure in the armory. So we need to have each of you guys loot, do some loot rolls, and then I think I think you guys were kind of at the point where maybe you were open or wanting to split. You had learned teleportation circle.
Yeah, man. I got
So-
skills now.
So
Bard life.
I think if we want to split, we
Are you
can
implying that I should use it?
definitely do that. Well, if you wanted to get out, remember if you run up this little stairway,
Yep.
the door is just now 2 lines of. It's a bottleneck.
They're waiting
The
for
only
us.
exit is a bottleneck of Dread Sentinels fighting demons, and so you're not going to get through that.
So you're saying I need to burn that spell slot?
You will need to, but so I thought about it and I was like, well, wait, no, there is a way that they could. At first, I thought, no, they don't really have a way out, but nope, I forgot you had taken that spell as one of your 5th level spells.
This is true.
So as long as Sandy gets everybody, I think you need to get back up out of the past the little protection illusion wall,
Okay.
and if you get back out in there, you'll be right behind the fray, but you would be able to use it from that place. You can't use it down here, but you'd be able to run up the stairs and do it. So
My teleportation device doesn't have good service in the basement? Is that what you're saying?
it's blocked.
Oh, okay.
It's blocked. Yeah, your collars were
Just like
blocked.
Verizon.
Your teleportation magic is blocked.
Okay.
Yep.
If only we had net neutrality.
Yeah, I knew that was going to come. If only we had magic neutrality. If only we had arcane neutrality.
Are these my dice?
Damn companies are. I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you've got 1, 2, 1.
Are they
in
First, they're in order.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So 1 first level, 2 second.
So
and
is
third
this
level.
one of my last bardic
You
inspirations?
have 3 bardic inspirations
Okay.
left. Yep. I
Okay.
was keeping track of that. So I
And
think
what's
they're
this
are they
cryptic thing?
D8s. That is a teleportation circle.
Oh.
I made one for
I thought
you.
it was bigger.
Now I thought
That's what
what's
she
that?
said.
I thought it would be bigger. I guess I'm the only one going.
No, you're good. It's a 10-foot radius.
Sorry, the bear can't come.
It's a 10-foot radius.
Okay, okay,
Or no,
cool.
5-foot radius, a 10-foot diameter. Sorry.
Can
but-
we just have 1 foot in?
Yeah, you can get 4
Yeah,
people in.
slice
I don't
it
know
in
how
half.
to. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
just. Yeah.
I think it actually. I think we can check the wording. I think you open it up and for a round, anybody steps through goes through.
Oh, okay.
Even baddies?
We need
I
to
mean, is
check
that how it works?
I think it could.
I honestly don't know.
I believe it could. I think it's anybody you could. I don't.
So we
some-
can drag real life Derek in. Wait, is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still in.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
cool.
Yeah, he's still in.
Unless you guys want to kill him.
I don't
Too
think we should do
complicated.
Too complicated.
So we can take the treasure chest.
Yeah.
We can
so
take stuff.
You're gonna need to loot it first. Yep. Yep. And
So it's literally like. It's like. We can just throw stuff through it. Do I know? Do I get to pick where I land? Or where it's.
So here's the thing.
There has to be
Actually,
a place that I've discovered.
so that one, when you learned the spell,
Yeah.
we can actually. It's probably worth reading because this is not a spell I use all the time.
Neither do I.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, this will be your first. Whoa. It's the first time you've ever
Yeah, man.
used like for
Mhm.
reals. That's.
And he's trying out weird things.
Yep.
Just saying. I might be into it. We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Just teleports himself for fun later.
It lasts a round.
Okay.
It actually takes you a minute to cast it.
Well,
Oh.
better get started.
Better get going. It lasts for a round. As you cast the spell, you draw a 10-foot diameter circle on the ground and start inscribing sigils that link your location to a permanent teleportation circle of your choice, whose sigil sequence you know, and that is on the same plane of existence as you. A shimmering portal opens within the circle you drew and remains open until the end of your next turn. Any creature that enters the portal instantly appears within 5 feet of the destination circle or in the nearest unoccupied space if that space is occupied. Many major temples, guilds, blah 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 blah, have teleportation circles. Each such circle includes a unique sigil sequence, magical runes arranged in particular patterns. It's like
Okay.
it's like your latitude and longitude, or your GPS code or something.
Yeah.
When you first gain the ability to cast this spell, you learn the sigil sequences of 2 destinations on the material plane, determined by the DM. You guys aren't adventuring on the material plane, so that's kind of out the window.
Right.
Score. I'd say one of them. Maybe there's a teleportation circle in the monastery that you guys teleported in from the Dread Sentinel Monastery. Where you
Yeah,
first.
that makes
went to.
sense.
There's got to be one there, and then if you really want another one, let me know. We can talk, figure it out. But if you're
Put it behind the waterfall.
like a big city, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. You learn too on the material plane. and you can create. You can commit a new sigil to memory if you study it for a minute. You can create a permanent teleportation circle by casting this spell in the same location every day for 1 year. You need not use the circle to teleport when you cast it that way.
Have to be in the same spot every day.
I thought it was when you learned this, you get to place one.
I think it's a good idea.
Well, and you know what?
Yeah.
It's not in there.
Kind DM, yes.
But I'm gonna say I want you
Yeah.
to make one in your hideout.
Okay.
We had talked about that, and I want you to. I've got
Just so I'm clear,
I've got a few
it's
walls.
not open just all the time, right?
No,
I open it on my turn.
but it's like a destination.
Could something just... Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that this is a highway that goes both directions.
Not from what I'm reading.
Okay.
When you think of it this way, maybe when you have this one and you place it in your spot,
Yeah.
it is an anchor. It's an address, is what it is. It's a magical address.
It's only receiving.
Essentially.
What I don't want is baddies to come spilling out of... Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like if our base is overrun and then baddies are like,
So-
ooh, what's this? And they start jumping in.
Here's how it works. It says that when you make the one, any creature that enters that one goes to the destination that you've linked up.
Okay.
Now you could link one. Now, it's more, I think, that you draw one and you can link to one that you know. So if another mage learns your sigil sequence for a minute, studies it for a minute,
My password.
or
0,
yeah.
0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, it's all zeros. God
It's like
damn
my
it!
Xbox.
Damn it, Sandy! Yeah, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Like when the evil wizard gets in here, he's like, fucking noob. This is fucking amateur. This is noob. Like,
Bard life.
it's the one sigil sequence that doesn't take a full minute to commit to memory. It just takes 2 seconds. He sees, oh, it's the same rune. Oh, it's A all the way around. It's just 27 A's in a row. And that's
Password is password?
password. Yeah.
Sandy's always looking for an easy way out.
But what I think it is when you cast this spell,
Yeah.
you can link a temporary for 1 round that you create this one. Anything that goes, it's a one way.
Okay.
And it goes to one that you know. You can't make it anywhere. You have to have a magical address.
Okay.
And so that would be the thing. Now,
Cool.
so you're concerned, yeah, if you were to find a sigil sequence in a demon holdout, and you learned it for a minute, you could later on pop in there whenever you wanted.
Nice.
Or if they learn yours, it could be the same thing.
The reason why it's important for me to figure out these finite details is because what I won't be able to do is show up in said demon horde room,
Yep.
steal things, and then just jump back in where I came from to take me out.
No.
Okay.
But
This is
at
why
least
I'm
that's why I thought about this, because it is a way for you guys to get back home though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it sounded like you were
Yeah,
very interested in doing.
Yeah, there were. Yeah, I do feel super interested. I've for sure decided that its point of origin would be Talia's room.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I had extra wall sections in case you wanted to carve out.
That's where you were every day for a year.
Yeah.
Is there a closet?
Yeah.
So I can look between the doors.
Here's the thing though. Every now and then she just finds you like passed out in her closet, right? Because Sandy kind of passes out all the time.
Yeah.
And so every now and then she opens her closet in the morning. She's like, oh, Sandy. Yeah. That's not creepy at all.
What do these runes say? A.
Yeah, she reads it. Yeah, but the only reason I asked too is because the other thing, when we first talked about this and you thought about making one, you had wanted to put it in a room that was locked from the outside that you had a key to or something, you know, or that was at least locked that you could get a key yourself. I can understand why you might want to do that. So if you wanted to do that,
Yeah, let's do that.
That's fine, but either I'm also down. That's hilarious. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Um,
That's a good idea.
So I think this is the front that faces the water. This is
Okay.
the little inlet of water, and it kind of slopes up to where this is now in ground. And then,
Okay, just so I'm clear,
yeah.
it has to be in the building?
Well, there's in here, and then the sides are rock. You could carve into the rock if you wanted to dig
exploring
out. Or there's a
underneath the
back.
waterfall.
Remember, there's a back way that you have a couple of entrances that
Yeah.
are secret, and so you could
Yeah.
you could come off of this hallway or something if
Okay.
you wanted to do that. You know.
Yeah. Well, 'cause I was thinking like underneath the waterfall.
Mhm.
You remember?
Yeah.
Like where we took the body. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
Yeah.
where I showed Ty the thing. And that seemed, and I do my little musical
Then
things
it's
over there.
outside of the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want it there?
I think for the way that I'm
Yeah.
building Sandy as a person,
Love it.
he's a little bit of a loner.
Mhm.
It doesn't. I don't think that he's. I think
Yeah.
underneath that waterfall where you could actually walk and you're dry and things like that. I actually think that's where
Yeah.
he would
Love
put it.
So
Just following his character, if that's cool.
I'm just gonna put it back here,
Yeah, cool.
but it's abstractly that's
Okay.
where it is. But
Good.
then you could come from that waterfall down the cave entrance and be in here. So,
Spot on.
yeah,
Perfect.
but I'm just gonna put it there so that we can have a place to put you when you use it.
Yeah, that's a
So-
sweet one.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's really cool. The Van Gogh one too. The
Yeah.
Fellowship and Van Gogh style. I love
That is
one.
cool.
That's pretty sweet.
It's Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. Veen Goth.
Van Gogh.
Veen Goth, yeah. I'll tell you what. Let's pick back up kind of where we were.
You've been painting.
You guys, yeah.
Sweet.
I'm painting a ton. You guys had met.
Oh yeah, we're looting. We're looting.
Yeah, real Derek.
Oh, Derek.
And then
He's gonna have to be patient while we loot.
clear everything up. Yeah. Listen. I know you want to get out of here.
We'll get you home.
He's like the horrors I've seen.
Like, yeah.
He's got one hit point left, and you guys are like, "Hey, shut up! There's gold in here."
We'll be back.
Yeah, can't.
Where do they keep the good
Derek,
stuff?
keep an eye out.
Derek, post up.
We're
Hey,
here.
Derek, can you be a bro and post up at the door?
Watch our back.
Listen for. Yeah.
He's visibly shaking.
That's awesome.
So
There's countless demons outside. There's a bomb about to go off. But
just
just be cool.
Just
for a
be
little
cool.
bit.
Be cool. Just be
Right.
cool. Yeah,
Right.
just be cool. Don't freak out. Did you?
Funny.
So did you?
Yeah, I need one.
What I would like to do, get those percentile dice out.
Oh, yeah.
I think I would like for each person. Again, so gold is going to be kind of funny. I'm happy to dole it out because I think they would have gold here.
Okay.
But it's also kind of like, where's the general store that you guys are going to go? I don't know.
Right.
But some things, like some spells have a material cost of components, special components. And so I'm not going to make you guys find those things. If you have enough gold that's the equivalent of what they say,
Yeah.
you just spend the gold to cast it. So maybe it's handy to use it. You find enough gold here. This is a big place, like I said before, and this is where they kind of keep things safe, both people and items. So I'm gonna dole out 1,000 gold to each of you guys. It is stacked in here, just tons. I mean, some of it might even be in like platinum and whatnot, but
Sweet. 1786.
yep, nice. And
3,000 gold.
I think
Dang, dude.
I think what I'd like to do,
Yeah.
I'd rather you guys get quality
I'm a thief. I
over
guess.
quantity. So I'm thinking about having you guys roll 3 times on this table, and that'll give me a few options to look at something and say, oh, this is something your character would kind of
Okay.
use. And if it's all like a health potion and a leather armor and a something else, I just might keep making you roll until you get something like decent. You
Okay.
know? So it's not gonna be perfectly fair for everybody, but
Are there skill points in there? Because I could use skill points.
Like what? Spell slots?
I like the
Spell slots?
persuade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can I get spell slots?
I'll tell you what. I created a mana potion in the game for I didn't mind it. I think the D4 getting spell slots back is potentially pretty OP.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what,
It really would be.
if you roll some kind of potion It'll be a mana potion.
Okay.
How about that? Would you like to roll first?
Sure.
Okay.
89. Wait, no, 68.
It's a dirty trick. I like that.
Zero is being
Sandy
right.
likes that.
What
Yeah.
side of the
First roll of the night.
Dirty.
Hey.
Dirty.
So you
It's
actually.
actually hilarious.
So I'll tell you right now, that one is a ring of protection.
Oh,
I
nice.
think that's a +1 to your AC.
Oh, dang.
Lucky.
Let me look. Well, and here's the thing: you can roll a couple times and see which you'd rather take. But I think that's that one, which is awesome for you, which is just absolutely wicked. Yeah, +1 to AC and saving throws.
Ooh.
Nice.
What?
So do you want to take that, or do you want to take your 2 other rolls?
I'm taking that.
Yeah, cool, sweet. Sandy, good sir.
If I'm reading this right, 43.
43, 50-foot length of rope. No, just kidding. Enjoy your loot. Okay.
I'm gonna hang myself
All right,
with
I'm
it.
really glad I didn't roll a 23.
No, sorry, you said 43.
12 foot of rope.
43?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me-
43,
Let
43.
me look it up and tell you, and then you tell me if you want to
Mercy.
use a reroll on this.
I was like, oh.
Not good rope either. Like
Oh.
super frayed.
Yeah, it's really
Right,
frayed
so-
and itchy and scratchy.
And so you couldn't really even hang
No,
yourself from
it'd be
it.
hard to hang yourself with it even.
Yeah, it doesn't
It'll break.
support
You
the weight of a
try.
man.
You try and it's a rope that's unable to support the weight of a small child.
Hey.
It's a gem, and it's a gem of seeing. This gem has 3 charges, and as an action, you can speak the gem's command word and spend 1 charge. For the next 10 minutes, you have true sight out to 120 feet when you peer through the gem. The gem regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. So true sight would be something that you could see through illusions or see the true nature of things.
I'm gonna reroll.
Yep, cool.
I don't know that I'm gonna have something fantastic.
98.
I think that's a 98.
Yeah.
Dang.
It is a 98.
No, that's an 86 too.
I'll take either. Anything's better than that rope.
It says a stone of controlling earth elementals. So
Does that mean
But
he
are
could
they-
rise
is that
in
even
Earth Elemental?
relevant to?
it might not be. You want to
Yeah.
go for the third one?
How
Go
can I
for the
roll a
third one.
98 and then pass?
No, is it a 98 or a 68?
It was
It's
a
a
98.
98.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said
That's
it was.
okay.
I thought you said the same thing and said it was a 68.
No,
I'm sorry.
that's a 98.
A 98.
I'm like, man, I'm bummed out.
Um,
I don't know what to do.
Instant death. You
a
get.
wand of wonder.
Oh, yes.
That's.
Yes.
Is that what it's
I'm
called?
listening.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
I'll just tell you. I know what the wand of wonder is. When you use the wand, you aim it at either an enemy or an ally, and you roll percentile dice again. It
Okay.
doesn't expend any spell slots for you,
That's good.
but you get to roll percentile dice and see what spell you cast.
Against friend or foe?
It could be good. It
has-
could be bad.
So I
Good
could
and bad
heal an
effects.
enemy.
I don't
I
think
could, I
there's-
could heal an
no,
enemy.
I don't think there's any healing magic.
Oh, okay.
I think
I was like,
there
God.
are also just benign things. Like one of them, I think like the target grows leaves on its skin or something like
Yeah.
that, or grass.
That would be
grows
my
up on it.
turn.
Yep.
It hits 100% of the time. And how many times do I get to use it?
No, well, I wouldn't say it hits 100% of the time. A spell gets generated from it, and then you would be using
And then I
that
roll
spell.
to see if it hits?
Depending on
If
the
I'm
spell.
in battle,
Well, 'cause
walk me through what this looks like. Because I'm bound to make assumptions and then mess it up.
That's right. Let me just.
That's happened to me so
see
many
what
times
it
in
is.
this game where I'm like, oh, no, this works. And then it's
Right.
like, nope, you just put all your friends to sleep, you moron.
That was the best. I think the best part about that was I spent no less than 10 minutes trying to tell you, like, you sure you don't want to put it back in the corner here? And he kept going like, no, right in the
Make
middle.
my
Like,
decision.
I want to put it right by the guy's feet, like right by the enemy's feet. And I was like, well, it's gonna do this and this. And I finally just was like, this is too funny. I just gotta.
Can't convince him.
I don't want to be a dick.
Can't convince
GM,
him.
but this is time.
Oh,
Then we had to
He'll
go
learn.
to hell to get
he'll
you
learn.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That chick was crazy. Dang.
That was some night.
He died with his pants around his ankles. A hero.
Wait,
Here.
Here.
Right to Randy. Oh man. All right, I am curious though about this wand. What? So, and then I'm gonna also ask a kind of a, yeah.
Here's the thing. It's not 100 effect, but you roll a d100, and 1 to 5 you cast slow, so you would slow that enemy. There's some specifics for it, but their movement would be half to take 2 rounds to cast a spell or something like that. It's.
What's its range? I like that it doesn't burn my spell slots. I will say that I do fancy that.
If a spell normally has a range expressed in feet, its range becomes 120 feet if it isn't already.
Okay. And then how many times do I use it until it breaks?
It has charges. It has 7 charges.
So I can use it 7 times.
Yep, and
I could use it against a friend.
You could. I think some of them are.
This wand.
I think you would mostly use it against an enemy.
Okay, that's good to know.
Which end is the dangerous one?
Actually, I should say it doesn't look. Looking over it real quick, it doesn't look like any of them are beneficial.
Okay.
Some of them are damaging, and some of them are just like
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
So I think you're
Cool.
probably safe to always aim it at an enemy.
But I can use it 7 times.
You use it 7 times, and the wand regains 1d6 plus 1 of those charges daily.
Oh, so I can use it a lot.
You could.
Is that what I'm hearing?
If
Okay.
you use,
so it never breaks.
If you use the last charge, if you use the 7th charge in the day, you roll a d20, and if you roll a 1, the magic has been drained out of it.
Permanently.
Only if you roll a 1.
But permanently.
Only if you lose all the charges. Yes, but like it'll.
Now, let me ask you this.
It'll like turn to
one last
ash.
question.
It'll turn to ash and fall out of your
Right.
head. Yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah.
one last question.
Yes.
If I'm in combat with someone,
Yep.
I'm engaged.
Yes.
I can use it, and then my next turn I don't have to use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could use it one turn, the next turn.
I just
yeah.
want to. I don't.
You could use
it's
it
good
up
for
to
me
7
know.
turns in a row. You could use it
in
up
a
to
day.
7 times.
But I have
And
one
that's it.
full day.
Yeah.
And then how many charges do I get back the next day after a long rest? All of them.
You roll a d6 and
Yeah.
add 1 to it. So anywhere from 2 to 7.
And then that's what the next day will be for it.
Well, and then if you don't use them, you'd roll again and add those to it. It would fill up.
I got you.
You'd fill up the gas tank every day.
Okay, cool.
A certain amount.
Yeah, I'll keep it.
Okay.
Wand of Wonder.
Yep. You want to write down page 212?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's. Yep.
Like, one of them is the target's skin turns bright blue for 1d10 days. Isn't that great?
Yeah, actually, it is. I mean, even at his funeral, his skin will be blue.
And so... Yeah. Dango!
Oh yeah. 78.
Scale mail, armor of resistance. I think scale is heavy though, so I don't think that you're...
You're not about that.
Yeah, you wanna...
32.
Plus 1 chain shirt. Now I know that that's medium armor that counts as light armor.
Change shirt?
I think the chain shirt.
Oh, chain. Gotcha.
Yeah. Or no, is that Mithril? We need to look it up real quick.
Or just leather armor.
Better get these off. We'll fight something someday.
Chain shirt is medium, not bad.
Oh, okay.
So I
leather?
think you're just light.
Leather's light.
Yeah, leather's light.
Yeah. I just want to go light. Alright.
Cool. Take another one.
Work my way down to light armor here.
Yep.
67.
67. It says a ring of free action.
Huh.
Let's see what that is. While you wear this ring, difficult terrain doesn't cost you extra movement. In addition, magic can neither reduce your speed nor cause you to be paralyzed or restrained. This is a pretty low tier item, actually. So if you want to, I'd say take. Yeah, try one more. I'd like for you to wonder. It's
66.
66. Ring of feather falling. When you fall while wearing this ring, you descend 60 feet per round and take no damage from falling. That sounds like a dangle type thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
I'll take that.
I like it. That one kind of fits pretty good. Cool. It's Elven Chain. The Elven Chain shirt is medium armor that counts as light. That's what I was thinking.
Those
Cool.
elves.
Those elves.
All right, teleportation circle. I'm gonna burn it.
Yeah. So.
Wait a minute. Is how you put them up in like an order? Are these gone?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so then that one's gone.
Yep. So fifth one's gone. And so here's the thing. Yeah, you guys run back up the top. You obviously are gonna cast it and go through and be out here.
Okay.
Who's going where? Is this just Victor that's staying to you?
I was following my family's
calling. Yep.
path. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right.
It's,
There's a branch,
That's really funny.
and I took.
Nobody has to. I'm just saying.
I really do.
This would be the decision that's in front of you guys.
Yeah.
You're here with Victor. Victor's like, I've gotta follow this. Like I know there's a part of me that I have to find out more about down this hallway.
Don't get bit again.
Don't get bit again. Would.
Lucky.
But at the same time, I'm sure you guys are thinking like we're going back to fight Fake Derek. So tell me who you can all go back. You can take Uthal and Dangle.
Dangle's going back.
Okay.
We're gonna take real Derek.
There is a
Or
bomb,
it's
so
too late.
I don't blame you guys
Before
for
he can't crawl through on the
going back.
Yeah, you throw him on. Yep.
We all left. We're like,
All right, come
oh, just lying there. And you crawl.
He's
Derek, you come
he's like
last.
the whole time you guys are like looting. He's like, please take me.
We're like, we will.
And you're like, we will. We go back, and then you like you're at the top of the staircase. You're like, PC Victor, wish you the best. He's like, oh. He's like his legs are broken from the torture. He can't run up. He's crawling up the steps. And you guys have all gone through, and then the next round comes and
he gets his arm through and it gets lost off.
He'd be your problem then. You'd have to take him with you.
I wouldn't be able to help myself. I'd be like,
You just
damn
be
it,
like,
okay, come on.
You just
Going to my roots.
So, I don't know. In my mind, I'll tell you, this is my thought. I feel like Uthal is a man of action. And he knows there's action
Where I'm going.
where
No.
Really?
He's not going you, bro.
but at the same time, like the adventure alone could also be a daunting thing where it's like it just is you and him back to back, but you don't know. You've already kind of scoped this out a little bit. You don't hear anything down there. It doesn't seem like there's anything.
And I am totally, I'm going this way, whether you choose to come with me or not is totally up to you. I know that you don't always like making these decisions, but it is totally up to you.
I will. You're saying me as a DM. You want me to choose?
You as
for it?
Uthal.
Me as Uthal. I feel like there's
I was like, I'll send the bear.
I feel like there's a reasonable reason for him to do either one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe. Do you want to odd and even it?
Rock, paper, scissors?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
How about which one does
Yeah,
it come with
right.
you?
It's ground rules, son. Ground rules.
Heads or
I
tails?
was just excited to
Heads or
roll.
tails, yeah. Yep.
Which one do you want to be?
First roll of the night.
You under or over?
Well, Victor's number one, so.
Yeah.
Odds.
So odds he comes with me.
Odds he goes with you. Yeah.
Alright.
All right.
Uthal, you're with me, man.
It all comes along,
We got this.
and
Enjoy your Boy Scout quest. We don't have any heavies.
Okay, I'm not going to make him go. Do you want him to come
Dodge,
with you?
duck,
Well,
dip, dive, and dodge.
So
Derek's our tank.
my concern,
But he
not,
was
not
for a
necessarily
while.
as Sandy,
He
but
had no
as
help in both of us.
Yeah.
as I'm
Fine.
thinking about the game.
Yeah.
This isn't Sandy. This
Yeah.
is just me.
Yep.
We don't have a heavy,
Mhm.
and we do think we're going back into some kind of a known trap
Well,
because we know that fake Derek is some kind of an imposter, and he's probably not working alone, and he's been there without our presence for a long time. I'm not expecting to be welcomed into tea and crumpets.
well, yeah, okay.
But you do still have the whole base, so you could
We have the
rally
element of
together the
surprise.
people that are there.
There's certainly
No,
there's
we
certainly
could
is,
absolutely be locked out of said base.
there certainly is.
We
Yeah,
don't
there's.
know.
I would say genuinely, and not even just in you, but in Sandy's mind, there's probably a lot of possibilities that are going around. But you don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know either way. So, you know what? I've got to make you guys make this choice because if I do, I'm not. I need to be removed from this decision. You tell me if Uthal goes with Victor or
What do you
with
think?
you guys.
I think I see Uthal as a protector. I think he would want to go. I think he'd want to go with you.
Yeah?
Okay, there it goes.
Oh man.
Down the mine shaft.
Cool.
Oh, shit. Your blood is on my hands.
And ours.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, literally, right.
It's hard to tell whose blood is on.
It's all red. It's all red.
It's all blood here anyway.
It's a little thinner, but otherwise.
Oh boy. Alright.
You don't have locks on doors. It's just hidden.
Oh, right, but I'm just saying, like,
Yep.
we could walk into an ooze. We could get stuck in an ooze or something.
You step in a fireball trap.
I'm just saying, like, the whole place could be, I mean, forget burned down. It could all be, you know, it could be
Gelatinous
trapped. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. We don't know.
This thing
but we
lasts
do
for
know
a
that
round?
something isn't right.
It's all right.
So it'll be fun.
If you've made your choice, you've gone through this teleportation circle, and it has.
Gone.
Yep.
That was fun. It's a fun level 5 spell.
God.
It made us party
Well,
split.
it's nice working with you, Victor.
So actually, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have learned it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I like it. I think it's cool.
I like it too.
Do we
It's-
still
I
have
just-
our talking
but my-
ring things?
Yours don't work.
You absolutely do, but remember
Oh,
when
they
you were
don't
done
work
in
when
here.
You're out of battery, bro. You should use Durst.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll tell you what. It has not
Can't
blown.
find a plug
It
right
has
now.
not blown yet.
Okay.
You know, a good chunk of time has passed. You have a feeling that the further down this hall you go, the safer you might be from a blast.
Sprinting.
But at the top of the staircase, where it is the most dangerous to take a blast, you can cross that. Like they had to cross that barrier to be able to cast this. If you go up the staircase and cross over, you can
I could
collar
cross
to them.
I don't want
You
to.
can
I
especially
just
do
wanted
it,
to know whether
you know.
or not I had that capability. Okay.
Cool.
I don't want to talk to you.
I'll give you guys the
I hope you
dramatic.
find your scroll.
There's
I hope it's worth it. I
there's
hope
that-
this scroll is worth it.
There's a movie dramatic moment when you guys
Yeah.
are splitting up. Is
Yeah.
there anything you guys want to strategically or tactically tell each other before you part ways? Because you all know. I mean, I know we're picking up here after a long time,
Sure.
but you guys know that this, Victor's going past this point where you know from trying it before that the collars don't communicate through there. So, is there anything you...
Anything like bite the apple or anything. I need something.
Sandy,
You need some motivation.
Sandy's like, Sandy gives him like a hug and a single tear rolls down. And he's like, "Don't sniff the watermelon.
Yeah.
Don't sniff the watermelon."
That's right.
Gives him a firm on the shoulder.
Don't spit the seeds, bro.
Don't spit
Okay,
the seeds.
Don't spit the seeds.
I won't. Thanks,
That's
man.
the best I got for
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm out. This is.
you.
He's
Yeah.
like, gotta go.
Yep, there you go. Hope you find a scroll.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll try not to get bit. See you
Dangle,
guys
yeah.
later.
Dangle will
Yeah,
walk
man.
up to you and be like, "Gonna miss you, Victor. If you're not back in 5 days, I'm taking all your stuff."
That's what I kind of expected.
Uthal tries. He realizes that this is maybe not an emotional moment, but like a dramatic moment.
Yeah.
And so he tries to say something to be part of the team, but all that kind of comes to his mind are some of the things he's heard you guys throw around. So at the end, everybody said something. You kind of are all just looking at each other knowingly before you're about to turn away, and he just says, "Everybody watch your blood. Everybody watch your blood."
Alright.
So I definitely.
Alright.
I forget who said that last time.
Yeah.
But it was the best. Everybody watch your blood.
Watch your blood.
And you step through and
So right before I was going to step through, and then the big guy opened his mouth, and I was like, ah. So I took this moment to turn around and go back to him, and I almost demanded that I hang on to his 1,000 pieces of gold in case he doesn't make it.
the
Not
three
yours,
of
not
you,
yours.
you have one.
He didn't get any?
Hell no.
Oh.
It's not a
Oh.
hero.
Alright.
He's not a.
Where's the money?
He's gonna buy.
He's an NPC. He doesn't
I have
get
no money.
gold.
I got
Yeah.
1,000 on him. I
Yeah.
was just gonna see
Yeah.
that moment. Alright.
Well,
It's worth a shot.
I already
It was.
Uthal.
checked with my sleight of
Uthal.
hand.
Uthal, you're going to be down here
Wait
for
a
who
minute.
knows how long. I'm going to take this back to the bank.
Yep.
I'm going to put it in a CD. High interest CD. Okay?
High
It's
risk, high
investing.
reward.
We're investing in the future.
Investing, yeah.
I mean, I'll only take a very small percent.
The stock market's been a little risky. We're gonna go with the CD. But I'll tell
So,
you
do you
what.
know how percentages work? That's fine. Don't
That's
worry
fine.
about it.
That's
Right.
fine. Don't worry
Doesn't
about it.
matter.
Listen, there
New
will be
word-
some
new
gold
word
for
for
you
him.
when you get back.
Percentage is a new word for him. Yeah. Alright.
Cool.
Alright.
So I think I would like to pursue
You guys
this first for a little
Are you
bit.
just walking in the dark? Just have a torch.
Oh, I'm
He's
half
got-
elf, so I can
He's
see,
becoming a
does that
vampire.
help?
He can see in the dark.
How's that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
can
guess
see
he'll just
pretty
have to
well.
hold your shoulder.
shit. You know what? There's one other thing that's in this room from last time that I forgot to put out. Where is the little blood pool?
Oh, you don't need that.
So what does that have to do with anything?
You've noticed them around a lot of places.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
True.
They seem to be. They're using them somehow. Like a lot of their power and their weapons, you've seen them. They're kind of there's a link, there's a connection. You see them in a lot of different places.
We've
so
dropped a lot
there
of
is
random
one
stuff
down
in
here.
them.
And
I take a fat dump in it.
I'll tell you, I'm not going to make you do it, but you do feel like your thirst kind of comes on a little bit the more you hang around it. You do feel like an urge to take a gulp, but
No,
you don't have to.
I'm fighting this. I'm
Yeah.
fighting. I don't want to give
Okay,
into that.
cool. You look for a little bit, and you guys move down the hallway. So this is, like I said before, like a little bit of a catacombs, and I think you get down here a ways before it blows.
Okay.
And you hear like, imagine if you were like underground and you heard just an army marching, above you. So that's the only sound that you really hear is the boots, the clanging of metal, steel and shields, and screaming, roaring, that kind of thing. But it's dulled because it's through, probably several tens of feet of earth and rock.
Okay.
And you go down this line that has your
My
your
family
family
name on
crest.
it.
Yeah, this Hall of the Heretic. And you find like again, you're kind of able to read bits and pieces of the language. This abyssal language is kind of coming to you in spurts and things. You see every little bit, like that they've almost kind of tried to keep track of this heretic line, and they seem to, maybe prophecies is too strong of a word, but they maybe like plan, maybe not, it's not like divined that this is going to happen, but they at least have a belief that if they can bring back this heretic line back into the fold, that would be an avenue to power, to conquest it's hard to say what for, because sometimes the demons war against each other for the hierarchy in the different layers here, and they also love conquering mortal realm. So to what end they would use it, those details, they don't, you've got a very surface level skimming kind of knowledge of this stuff, but you occasionally see, once you get back far enough, you see a few generations that you recognize. It's not identical to the generations. You probably have a mausoleum or a family cemetery that has, many, many generations back of these noble warriors of the Iron Shield Order. And you find, you're used to a different lineage, but you catch up and you find some old, like a dozen or more back, and you kind of recognize, a few of them that, like, oh yeah. So it's unclear, exactly where this, how they would meet up, but it seems it really probably hits you then that you're like, this is like, how you can't make that up, right? And I think Uthal maybe, especially thinking he's down here to protect you, it doesn't seem like anything's coming this way. So he probably stands a good bit, back from you, lets you search this out. And maybe he kind of guards the rear, or kind of guards at a point where the hall kind of starts and things. And you get way back. You get way back down this hall.
Okay.
And there's kind of it's not terribly elaborate, but it is clearly a little bit more, attention to detail has gone into this one at the very end of this hall. And it is Soren Lasorian. Oh. And again, you kind of skim, the surface of the plaque or some engravings that are there, and he is he's who they call the first of this line of the heretic. Yeah. And you kind of get the impression, at least that what they've written down, is that he was the first one to kind of leave this original house, Lasorian. Okay. And there's they're not honoring, they're kind of chronicling more than honoring, right? The other hall maybe has a little bit more of like the heroes that have fought or died and for the demon's cause or different things, and maybe they have more gold, inlays and silvers and different things that are more ornamental. But over here, it's just a lot of wood and iron, right? They're just more as history, or like I say, chronicling. Okay. But his, it looks like there's just a box, just a rectangular wooden box that you would think is kind of big enough for a body to lay out, and like maybe like a little rack above this, like his picture, like a really old, terribly old, faded stone, like just painted onto the stone, some kind of portrait of him. But it's really faded. It's hard to get much except for an outline of like a human face on it, and different hooks on the wall. It looks like there should have been a weapon here or something, and it's really tattered, but like a worn and scraggly leathers and fabrics that was over like a mannequin torso, where you might have expected to see armor or something, but none of those, whether they were put here before or they're made a place to try and recover them and put them there. Yeah. They're not here right now. Okay. And I think it's a while down here.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you have a lightning cord in here? Can I borrow that?
Yes.
Oh, is your phone about dead?
Sort of, but we're good. It's in the charger is on the side.
Yeah, I saw that. I just didn't see it.
Yep.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Yeah, absolutely. What is your kind of? Tell me kind of specifically wondering about?
I'm looking specifically at the weapon rack to see if there's some sort of possible effect that me placing Soren's conviction in that spot would have.
Are you going to place it up there and kind of test it out?
I want to. Yeah,
Inside
if you don't mind. I want to see if I can sense that would happen, not without actually doing it, because I don't want to complete something that I don't want to complete.
It crumbles to ash.
Right, exactly. Like, would I be sacrificing my weapon in this case for some greater or lesser cause?
I see. Make an Arcana check, and you have Soren's conviction with you.
I have Soren's conviction.
And so I'd say make it with advantage.
Okay.
Yep.
Roll wisely.
Crit.
Nice.
That's funny.
That's
Alright.
fantastic. I want you to pop the top here.
All right.
Good. Get those out of the way now. I got scissors with you.
I should be a man. I'm a man, but I'll use the scissors. I'll use the scissors.
You're in character. It's good. It's good.
Skittles makes a fine product.
Yeah.
Quality packaging.
We always shit on Victor so hard. Why is it that everybody always shits on the leader? I don't know. I don't get it.
It just feels good.
I tell you what though,
Another job.
I'll tell you what my favorite thing though is how well you've done with like the comic value of Victor not being able to say like hardcore things. That it's just like I was
I'm glad you think that's a character thing.
last time it was like I think he said something like
strengths.
I think last time he was like fighting he crit and did the smite on a crit on the big bad guy. And he said like you're gonna feel this in the morning. And I was like that was the best. That was the best. I love it.
Oh yeah. Well, there have been a few things that he said that are.
You size it up
That's
like
worthy.
you maybe hold it up and you look and absolutely the way that these little arcs come out, it fits right in a little indent on the handle, and it perfectly cradles the head of the mace. You know, it's clear that this mace should be here, but you don't feel any heat coming from it. So you kind of go, boy, what are the odds? I bet, and you've been attuned to this item. You know that it maybe has like Soren's name on the handle or the inlay or some in runic or something on it. So the connection is clear to you. It's obvious. But
I put it up there.
You put it up there, and
I
nothing.
put it in its place. Nothing happens.
Glows. Nothing happens. But you maybe put it up there, and you kind of get a little chill because like this mace is after who knows how many thousands of years.
It's not like a charging dock and it suddenly glows blue. Damn.
Nope. Yes, and it goes blue, radiates holy healing energy, and all your spell slots are
plus
recovered.
10 weapon now.
Plus 10, yeah. You get 100 temporary hit points, and but you maybe have like more of like a
bond. A
yeah.
feeling of
You feel like
kinship to this.
Exactly. You can feel this like through the ages. This mace is like reaching back to its original owner.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's cool. All right.
no, well.
Okay.
Not so fast. I think Uthal is like a ways away, and maybe because he's a little bit. This is like a very personal. It's obvious to him. This is like a personal thing to you, and Uthal is probably not so much with the feelings, and in that way, he's incredibly loyal, but he's not a hugger. Should I say this? He's not a hugger, right? I think that's
Best you get is a thumbs up and a head nod.
Yeah,
All right,
or like a punch in the
Okay, cool.
in the shoulder or something like that.
Good.
So he's kind of watching the rear. He's helping you, but he kind of is just this isn't his jam.
Yeah.
But you go back there and you kind of just have this moment where you set it on there and you're waiting for something to happen, and nothing happens, and nothing is going to happen. But you just kind of like. Shit. And maybe like this is the moment when it blows.
Yeah.
And so then you're kind of like, that mission is accomplished, but like I'm down
I'm
here.
in here
I'm
now.
down here now.
Yeah.
so this mix of like success and failure all at the same time. You
Yeah.
kind of are just like maybe just getting introspective here, staring at this, you know, ancestor of yours, and from out of the rock. It doesn't come out so far, but it's kind of like those old you'd see. I think they're called bas reliefs that are like. I think like Greco-Roman stuff has a lot of it, where at the base of a temple they would show warriors, and they're not painted on. They're a little bit, carved into it. They come out a little bit, so there's a 3D element to it. They're not like hieroglyphics, but it kind of like pops out a little bit. And it's huge. It's maybe like a 10-foot
Oh damn.
humanoid-looking form. It kind of comes out, and the rock just seems to kind of crumbles and grinds like little pebbles, but in a way that kind of looks a little fluid, right? Like it's kind of molding itself. And this armor-clad, bearded figure kind of starts to emerge.
Grandpapa?
Nope. You recognize it doesn't look any. Grandma, yeah, Grandma, Serena. It is not Soren.
Okay.
But it is very much like it. Maybe it kind of the rock, kind of removes this helmet, and you have seen this portrait before in all the temples of service and monasteries that you grew up in.
Shit.
This looks like Helm.
Oh, shit.
Your deity.
Yeah.
And
Didn't recognize it.
no, you did. No, Ben didn't. Victor did.
Yeah.
And he's just, he's got the full-on it is like a mighty shield. That's like he's a protection kind of warrior deity, and he's maybe kind of got like the Spartan spear. I know it's like you can kind of imagine as though he's in this little, just on the rock, but this rock spear, he kind of sticks it in it,
I immediately go down to one knee.
Yeah, cool.
Immediately, yeah.
And
But on 2 knees.
No, that would be disrespectful.
That's right. Yeah, Helm approves.
Yeah.
Helm very much approves. And this is incredibly rare. Like, people serve a deity, especially like in your order and everything, but they follow the guidance that is kind of passed down from maybe clerics and paladins and priests in the temple. But it is really rare. It is incredibly rare to ever, and you don't get the feeling like this is Helm like talking to you. But there's like a shard of there's it's like an avatar or a shard of his existence that is kind of becoming a messenger to you. And he acknowledges you, and he says, Victor, I don't know if you truly realize this yet, but none have ever attempted to undertake this magnitude of a quest in my name. And he says, I feel bound to be more at your side than ever, as much as I can in this place. I will try to help you. And he seems to be making a reference to your vampirism.
Finding
and the vampirism. Like he says, this is something that I as a deity, I'm able to not see the future, but I am given certain glimpses and foreknowledge and understanding, and I can see that that this may be a difficult, painful road for you, but there is something here now that we can use for our greater benefit. You will have a connection to this world and this place like no other would be able to. And he puts out, so the rock hands kind of cup and come out, and just like a light blue, like crystal clear, shimmering kind of water comes out for you, and it's clear like he's offering it to you. and and the illusion fades.
And my vampirism is complete.
It's complete. You have been completely turned. No,
The ritual is completed.
no, it is Helm, and you gain one of each spell slot back,
Oh, sweet.
and all of your lay on hands back.
Oh, sweet.
He just kind of tries to help, boost you up a little bit. You feel like a warm connection to him.
No, it's 50.
Should have bottled some of that, dude. I just drink it all at once.
Like a plastic bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just safe. So
You don't mind if I? Are you cool if I? Can you like?
You mind,
you like hold up like a urinal? You're like, do you got any more? Do you got any more in there? This is some good stuff.
Yo,
Just some
dog.
good stuff, please.
Yo.
And he it's clear that he's very it means a lot to him that you immediately show this humility and taking a knee, and he bids you to stand up, and he can't linger, he says he can't linger here forever, but if there's something you feel like you need to ask him, he's trying to be here for you right now. So is there anything burning on your mind to ask him, or?
Well, you kind of jumped this one on me here, big guy.
It's going as planned.
And with that, he fades back.
how's your day going?
How is life?
So
in the world?
how's Mount Olympus? How's Olympus?
Ask him what the meaning of life is.
Right.
Ask him what the weather's like tomorrow.
Yeah, oh man. All these Alexa questions, right?
Partly cloudy with a chance of rain.
What's the dew point right now?
Anything else you'd like to ask?
Ask him who's winning the World Series.
Amazingly powerful team. No, this is in the moment.
This is your moment,
Yeah, this
yes.
is whatever. And you don't even have to. I'm just saying he's there. Even if you don't say anything, he just is trying to make himself there for you right
Yeah.
This is your father figure. Come on.
I don't.
now. We keep pressuring him. We're horrible. We're horrible teammates to you. I just want to say that. I'm really sorry.
I'll be honest, I thought I was helping.
That's the worst. That's the worst. You thought you were helping? You're just piling on the pressure.
I was stalling. That's for sure been helping. Really don't ask about the World Series. I was for sure kidding.
Yeah, you're good. What's the 2 point? That was I gotta say this as an aside real quick. I love watching these things. They help me so much because I didn't realize this before, but I kid you not, 50% of your guys' jokes I don't catch because I am thinking this monster needs to do this next, and I'm thinking about that, or I'm listening to one person,
Right.
and then you guys have the funniest shit. You just pop off, and you only see it once, and I miss it, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so glad I record these things because I would miss them if I. Fucking 2 point. I'll say. Let me offer you this. I think.
Is he offering guidance or is he offering
Let me do this.
Is this a genie thing? Does he get to ask
Yeah.
multiple
No,
questions
it's not a
or
wish.
just one?
It's not a wish.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
seriously though, does he get to
I
ask
wish for
more
more
than one question?
questions.
Can I ask
I'll tell you
one
what,
more
let me offer you this. I think Victor might say something like right now, in this catacombs, how am I gonna know the way?
That was mostly what is the hope for me in my quest here? How do I move on to the next step of my quest?
He says, keep an open mind and an open heart right now. He says, I work not only in the material plane, but on this plane as well, in a very limited role. Good deities would have very difficult time. The same way the Dread Sentinels, when they come in, they're burning away.
Yeah.
If the demons entered Elysium, they would be burning away just from being there. This part of it is their essence meets its antimatter here, so it's very difficult. But he says there are there are creatures here that don't know me by the name that you know me, but they may be sympathetic to your cause. He says, but this whole plane, life here exists in constant, brutal competition just with itself. And if you keep, if you don't let violence and hate collide, he says you could make a strong ally. It's something I've been working for. I think that this is the right time to see this plan through. And it's
another question.
It's not that he's like choosing to leave you. It's like his powers kind of it's fading out as he's kind of giving you this last bit of advice. So
don't drink any more blood.
Lay off the blood.
Dude just gave you.
He says, everybody watch your blood.
Right. Yeah, like that dude just gave you fortune cookie advice, and then told you to go be a monk.
Oh no, he's kind of a
god
god
spell slots, which is good.
Yeah, he's kind of he's not a god of war, but he's like a god of protection.
He's your new Navi.
Yeah.
Navi.
Listen.
No, I like the other one.
Hey, listen.
Hey. You can like send him over to target.
And it doesn't stop.
See target, man.
Over here.
Right.
Over here. Over here.
And you're the only one that can hear him because it's your duty, which is
Stop, Helm! Stop!
Yeah. And I think that
Switching to Timora.
Uthal was walking up to you as he was there, and he kind of just almost like completely ignoring this, like is just walking up and talking to you as this is talking, as Helm is talking and fading away to you, and Uthal is just saying like, I don't hear anyone, like the rubble collapsed in the stairway, and he says have you found what we're...
Sorry, what?
And it's clear that like Uthal's talking over him.
Yeah.
And you get the distinct impression that it was something that was just being projected to you. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And
am I sensing any like crumbling around me? Is this feeling still pretty safe?
It feels pretty sturdy. I think probably when it blew, there's a lot of dust.
Yeah.
Coming through the in the light. There's magical flame. Like somebody has cast I think it's continual flame.
Okay.
There's no heat, but it's just constant light. It's magical. It never goes out. So that's how they light this. It's dim, but at least it's something. But you can you get that little shift in the tunnel. But it's solid. It's a lot of rock in here, too. It's a lot of carved out from a cave system.
Okay.
And so I think we'll time out that for a second. I think that's a good spot.
Man. I haven't even had a chance to open my Mountain Dew.
So, how did Dangle and Sandy want to die?
Tell me dramatically.
Slow and painful.
Slow and painful. I think you guys come in, underneath the waterfall.
Yeah.
And
we should have a good vantage point.
Maybe do this. Maybe hit me with a perception check just right now.
19.
Nice.
5.
Oh.
Your adrenaline is just like pounding away. It's hard for you to pay attention to too much stuff because you're like,
we left it behind.
You're nervous, right?
Dude, if you pass out, I won't judge you.
That's awesome.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Appreciate that.
Always that chance with Sandy still though.
And I think that Sandy he's maybe like, he's too focused because he's like, maybe Talia's like really on his mind, right?
I rolled a 19, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So he's like, he knows what he's got to do. And so you get back and you don't any of your concerns about like other creatures being here or something like that, you don't hear anything else.
But I'm gonna leave Derek underneath the waterfall in that location.
Yeah, you tell him
because we know that there's and
he ain't fighting fit right now, which he's perfectly happy to do. He actually
but I'm saying I'm just saying we're not taking him back in.
He'll beg
because
you
we
for
could play stupid if we see
for a
another
heal. He'll beg you for a for a heal.
Dude, if he can make it through,
Keep those.
if he can make it through the portation thing and be okay, he's got another 10 minutes.
Okay.
We'll be back.
So he kind of collapses there, and he just is like the relief. He maybe even like starts like breaking down and crying, like because he's free.
Drink some water.
And maybe he does, right?
Well,
and he just like
wash your
sprawls
hands.
out, and he's
Smells
just
terrible.
kind of like, he's just. I mean, he's got it under control, but he's crying because like he never thought he would have gotten out of there alive. And he's he gets himself together for a second, and if you tell him like you gotta wait here, like we cannot take him, we don't know what we're gonna run into there.
Yeah, we need to go.
He
scout
understands.
this.
He understands.
Doesn't matter if he doesn't. It's
Well,
not
I'm just
his
saying
call.
he's not gonna try to come along with
Good.
it. He's gonna sit tight,
crawl.
and he's gonna maybe even just try to like. You've maybe got some. I don't know if you have a cot here or something. Have you ever spent the night out under the waterfall or something? Does he have a place to rest, or is it just rock?
There's like a smooth stone that I would use as a pillow.
Okay.
And there's a mirror on the roof.
It's luxury to him. And there's a mirror on the roof. And he's like, why the... And he gives you a little sideways glance. And
Lucky to be alive, bro.
he just kind of lays down. He's not going to be able to fall asleep because there's a lot of adrenaline for everybody. But he lays down just to rest and let you guys take care of biz.
Isn't this also where we left old girl?
No,
Lady
she
vampire?
is under.
She's under the
I
bed.
put her under.
Oh, okay.
I put her on the bed
That's
in
right.
here, but this is your guys' room in here. You have a triple bunk situation.
She's in storage.
She's under the.
She's in cold
It's like
storage.
a
Yeah.
submarine.
Cool.
Well, that's at least where you left her last.
Right. Right, and we were concerned about that she would be discovered by now fake Derek. Or
I don't
somebody.
think you're overly concerned. He didn't come back with us.
I've got priorities, yo.
I'm saying.
Yep.
But we are concerned enough to come back.
Yeah.
We're trying to actively save Derek.
We're the ones who care.
Heroes. Okay, let's do this.
I can't hear you. I'm busy talking to my
so
God.
you don't hear anything that tells you anything feels out of the ordinary.
Okay.
It still feels like, but this is never a loud place. It just
Right.
nothing yet is telling you. Nothing is giving you a
Nothing's on
danger
fire,
sense. Nothing is giving you a danger
Okay.
sense. You don't hear screams or anything like that.
Okay.
It sounds the way it should sound right now.
And we can pre-plan a little bit because, I mean, fake Derek, we technically have the element of surprise.
Oh,
Fake
sure.
Derek.
For sure. I think one thing we can do is send my familiar down to scope it out
Yeah,
real quick.
it's a great idea.
Yes, Hootie.
The owl.
Let's let Hootie do some
Good
work.
sir. Above you,
Well,
above
you,
the
good sir.
yellow iron fist, one level above, to the right of Sauron,
Said
is
Iron
Hootie the
Fist?
Owl. Right by Gollum.
Dude, that's what I've been watching
Thank you, sir.
on Netflix.
What?
Iron Marvel, Iron.
Oh,
Nice.
I've never seen
You're good. This is why I want to build a table. Like, I hate these. It's gonna
That
be-
way, it'll discourage you from doing it because it'll hurt next time.
It hurts me. It hurts me too. I do it all the time over here. So Hootie comes down and he's an owl, but he can kind of like hop along kind of slowly.
You're walking
And
out.
he has been in here before. It's not gonna freak out Talia or Wadsworth or Derek to see him. They've seen him come and go sometimes. They know that he's your familiar. What is you don't have to this, but think of what's like the distinguishing thing about Hootie that you know he's familiar. Like something that that an animal would. He might have like a. Like I've heard some people say, like their cat wears a monocle, or a top hat or something.
Oh.
There's probably should be something cool and quirky that really tips people off that you're familiar. But you don't have to do it.
He's got a scarf. Red scarf.
He's got a red scarf. I love it.
Nice.
Camouflage.
And so he can hop along in here. It's kind of hard to fly because it's a cave. It's
Digital
a little forward
camo
cave
or-
thing.
Right.
But what would you like him to do?
First of all, I want to scope out where Derek might be. Fake
Okay,
Derek.
so just looking around. This is fake Derek's place.
Yeah. So is his door open, closed?
You guys don't have locks on any of these doors, so he can
We're
just he can just push it open, and Derek is not in there.
All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna locate the other members then.
See if the
Okay.
vampire's under there.
When he comes around, and I think you can just I think you see and hear through or you can see and hear through his senses or something as an action.
Yeah.
Probably
something
can
like that.
take control, assume control or something.
Yeah.
They are around the campfire,
Yeah. Okay.
as you guys, and this is the time of day. It's maybe like more in the not late evening, but later on in the afternoon and early evening is when you guys kind of start to.
Kind of break time.
Yeah, it's the day's work is mostly done. It's kind of dinner, recoup, talk and things like that. Sometimes Derek breaks away to talk to the other captains and different things like through the collars, but for the most part you guys all start kind of hanging around here. This is the commons kind of place essentially.
Sure.
And so make a stealth check for Hootie.
He's +3 with stealth. So 18.
Cool. He kind of gets right behind the barrel, and he sees that they're there, and they're kind of talking together.
Regular evening stuff.
Yep.
All right. Finally, just want to check on Vampire Lady.
Oh yeah, it comes in here,
Yeah.
and she is under the bed, right where you left her.
All right.
I mean, I didn't hear that.
You're walking along with Uthal, and you're like, yes.
In the
Hey,
seal
high
of
five.
pain.
Uthal's like, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, I report. Just everything's as normal.
But we do have eyes on Derek.
We have eyes on Derek. Everyone's in the common room. Regular night.
Presumably fake Derek.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh man, what are you guys gonna tell them when I don't come back?
Tell them
Maybe they won't notice.
And here's the other thing: if you guys want me to, if
Wasn't
you
there
guys,
someone else?
Didn't you have like a commander
if
or
you as
something?
players need to think a little bit, I can go back to Victor. What do you guys think with this information, or we can play out a little more here if you want. Actually,
Well, I mean, I think our play is
we
that-
should probably break back to Victor before
Oh.
you get into a fight. But if you kind of want to think or like how you would be approaching it, you tell me.
Alright.
But I assume you want to get into a fight. But tell
Well,
me.
yeah. I mean, we know information that these two don't know, and
Yeah.
we don't want to have to fight all of them.
We're gonna have to get them on side.
Right. So you go get your bestie, and I'll go get my bestie. And
Try not to pass out.
convince them. And then tell them what's
Alright.
up. Tell them what's up.
All right,
I think
do
that's
that.
I think that's got to be our plan. Is we have to pull them aside, and pull them away. You know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
We have to try and
I
be.
think we'll have to pay everyone a visit late at night.
Pay them visit late at night or do it now. Are we willing to sacrifice time? I'm not saying we should.
And we cut back to
Yeah,
back
good
to
idea.
Victor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. And
I guess I gotta do a perception check for how to get out of here, right?
yeah, exactly. Yep, that probably is good.
Alright. Perception.
You have to come back to that split, because that was just a
Yeah.
dead end hall. You come back to the split here, and when you get back there, roll me a perception.
I'm gonna be searching for wind currents
Anything.
or anything,
Everything
any
and
kind
anything,
of
yep.
way to.
Yep.
15
Altogether.
altogether.
Okay, cool. So it's obvious. I mean, any kind of check would tell you, like, the only way to go from here, you've already checked all these cells before, there's no secret entries, or none that you found before from when you had your fight and were checking everything out. This is blocked, there's just rubble, like, pouring boulders and stones pouring down this staircase. And the only place left to go is that other hall. But
Is there a way for me to proceed with caution, watching for traps?
absolutely,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. I will, especially if you're moving slowly and cautiously.
Yeah.
I will be
I'm not
asking
going
you to make a
storming.
check. No,
Yeah.
exactly. But you do see Helm appear again in the stone, very briefly,
Oh, really? Okay.
and he's right above that blood pool. And he says, you kind of hear him, and he says something like, it's okay if you need to. I'll be here. I'll be following with you.
All right. Then I'll with the blessing of my deity, I
Yeah.
go ahead and take myself
You
a.
take a little swig. and
Sounds like, whoa.
you
I said you could, doesn't mean I said you should do that.
yeah.
Frickin' sick.
Uthal doesn't hear it. He just sees you go up and
Right.
just take a swig. And
It's okay.
And he kind of starts like following you. Like, is he supposed to? But he kind
Go
of
bat
it kind of
wings.
it kind of grows him. But you you feel juiced again, like when you
Okay.
sat on the throne.
Okay.
And it does kind of, it's hard because you can tell it powers you up, but it also makes like, it's kind of that moment where it's like, it's hard to stop,
Yeah.
like to pull away and stop drinking.
Yeah.
But you can tell like Helm knows like the effect that it's having on you, and that it's, it's going to be a hard balance, but
Okay.
he knows, hey, maybe you need to, for your own
For the
good,
greater good.
to be juiced. He wants,
Yep.
he wants you to be on your game.
All right.
And I think as you're heading down the other hallway, I've kind of already explained, like, a little bit what you find. It's periodically these little shrines, for lack of a better word, these little memoriam kind of places for their fallen heroes, and no one here you recognize. And this is that, again, we kind of, I love that idea of like that distorted emblem of
Yeah.
like maybe their shield emblem is a much more, maybe it's not even a rose, but it's just the thorns.
Yeah.
Or something
No
like that.
flower.
But
Yeah.
but it's like you can see the similarities, but the shield style is a little different. You can see that it was drawn. One was drawn from the other, essentially. And you kind of hear this, and it's almost like maybe because of being juiced, like your senses are way on point now. And you hear like a little squeaky voice, like an animal, like an animalistic kind of noise.
Okay.
But in patterns, and two distinct ones. Your hearing is so sharp. Maybe if you hadn't, you wouldn't have noticed it as easily. But two of these different, like a slight difference. The same way you can tell people's voices, right?
Yeah.
It's a little hard to distinguish because you're not as familiar with them as like human voices. But you suspect like it might be like a real like a squeaky kind of language, but you don't pick. It's not the abyssal. You don't pick up the
Okay.
at first, but then some of it kind of turns to abyssal.
Okay.
And you hear things like we're not afraid of demons. You turn away,
Huh.
or we know how to deal with demons.
Huh. Okay.
Those are your allies, dude. Should go straight there.
You can, I tell you what, make an insight check for.
Okay. Insight. Oh shit! +6.
Oh, it's awesome.
Should use that more often.
Time, yeah.
Yeah.
16.
Hey.
I'm not a strong leader.
Insightful when you want to be.
So you realize like that this would be where they would come more often. It seems more traveled. Like the Heretic Hall is kind of cobwebbed, and they don't try to keep it up. Like I say, it's more of a repository. This is more a site of, reverence or something. Like they come down here to pay homage and different things like that. And so you hear that, and it seems like it's kind of coming from, like it's hard to see anywhere in the but the wall kind of.
I say friend in Abyssal. Speak friend and enter.
Yes, I think they say demons are no friend of ours. Turn around.
I'm not your enemy. I'm guessing I have limited language.
Yeah.
So
You can probably say things like really disjointedly, like not enemy.
right.
Yeah, or something like that. But some of this
Not enemy, not demon.
and actually probably after sipping,
Yeah.
it's maybe a little bit. It's coming to you a little
more
bit
fluid.
better. Yeah.
Not enemy, not demon.
Yeah.
Friend.
Yeah. They'll say, "Prove it. Set down your weapon."
Show yourself first.
You see. You're kind of talking to this. You're way down, right?
Yeah.
But you're kind of talking to this side of the wall, and you see Cord come out for a second and just nod his head.
Okay. Yep. So I look at Uthal and I say.
Yeah, and it's good that you say it because they were about to.
Yeah.
When they see him, they notice him. They say him too, and you've already kind of told.
I've already motioned
Yep.
Uthal. Yep. And Bear. Just.
So you guys, you do come. Sorry, I super had to make notes for myself here and these guys. Okay, so there's a few of them. These small little rat men come out of the. And this one, I can't model him without sticking jabbing a sword at you. They have their weapons, but they tentatively, the one of them keeps a close eye on you.
Yeah.
The other two, they respectfully kind of gather up the weapons just so you can tell for security reasons, right? And the one of them says, I'm sorry. This one's way more elaborate, but it just is to identify him. They're kind of pretty much the same height. This one says, I'm Mazer. If you're not a demon, what are you doing down here?
I seek to destroy the people who are here to destroy you.
He says, we've fought our own battles for many years. We don't need help.
But have
we
you
don't.
joined forces with the opposite side of this enemy? The complete opposite side of this enemy.
He says, there is only one enemy in this place.
I point at my weapon, at the sigil that's on my weapon, and I say, I'm here to destroy the other side of this sigil.
Yeah, they immediately, like when you I hadn't even thought about that. That's awesome. Yeah, you show them, and the one turns the handle and looks at it.
Yeah.
And they start like squeaking like frantically. This is the language you don't understand.
Sure. Okay.
But they are really, and the one, at first they were kind of holding it for a second, and then they really get protective about that. And they say, so at first they say, they're kind of scrutinizing you, but at first they're kind of like,
how did you get this?
Okay, come with, and this is the wall that you feel like they don't. It's not like one thin wall, but there's you went off this way. It's branching back where they kind of. And the funny thing is, they maybe say kind of like, okay, like follow us, but then they duck into this halfling or smaller sized hole.
Oh, great!
And you can't.
Yeah.
And then they kind of realize it, and then they kind of come back out, and they have to go the long way around. But they come back over. And there's a few more now. And you get the feeling like there's more of them kind of come out of the wall from little holes you hadn't noticed when you get back around the other side.
That one's got a gun.
Yeah, that's right. He more has a staff, but yeah, he's clutching some other kind of wand-like device. He's holding something in his hand, and they go back to that little shrine for Soren, and they open that the casket that's kind of there, and there's just kind of loose bones in there now. Nothing was really preserved in a great way. But they kind of rummage the bones off to one side, and there's kind of a false bottom to it. And again, a halfling hole that they can kind of get through, and then they're kind of, well, shit. We just were running through this problem.
Are we El Chapoing out of here?
Yes, yeah. They say this is El Chapo. He's gonna get this one that's holding this wand and staff realizes this problem and kind of looks at you, and several of them are kind of disappearing, and he casts reduce on you, which puts you down to like halfling size.
I check inside my pants. Didn't need that.
That was the last thing I needed today. And some allies you guys are.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, friend. And it's enough for you to get through.
I hate you for sure.
I know.
So here's where there is a little bit of trouble. You're a medium creature. You can go to small. They can get Uthal down to medium, but he can't fit. And so Uthal, he says, it almost is just like a matter of factly. He just says, well, the only other thing I can do is, wander that other hall. And he just says, we'll each do the best we can.
Shit, Uthal?
Yeah. It's clear. There's like, this is it's maybe he doesn't give up so quick, but they shrink him down, but it's just not, he still is a heap of man even after being shrunk. He just is not fitting. And so he finally just kind of realizes, and he's not going to ask you. It's clear that like they kind of also, want you to go. So he just kind of has to,
knowing that I'm protected by other people, he's okay with leaving.
And he actually he maybe kind of thinks, he's like, he says, maybe Ursula and I start picking boulders. They enlarge him again to his normal size. Yeah. And maybe he's like,
start digging.
It's just a matter of time, one way or the other. He says, we will meet again. I will search the rest of this hall, and if there is nothing, we will start moving boulders. He says, I like moving boulders. It's not, when I was young with all many boulders.
Yeah. Don't drink the blood.
It's not that bad.
Don't drink the blood.
Does blood not help move boulders?
You.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So he gives you the.
Yeah.
He maybe gives you the crisscross, the forearm handshake.
Yeah, my hand is like completely extended against his forearm, like
that's true. It's like
his is completely around my entire arm.
It's kind of like when I give Renee a high five.
Yeah,
it's just a little tiny thing.
Yeah.
Yep. And okay, so he.
Damn it!
Yep.
Didn't even need to have him with me.
Hold it.
It was good to have him with me though, just in case.
Just in
For all
case.
the emotional support.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a good one for that.
It's why I didn't want to have to make that choice.
And a few words.
The other thing I wondered is if you, I was like, oh man, I don't know if they would. Sandy and Uthal and Dangle, and there's so many options I don't even know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Right.
you kind of have to part ways, and there's when you get through in here, there's like a big tunnel network, but it's not like reinforced like this. It's clear they just kind of dug stuff,
Mm.
and so they'll they'll kind of start talking to you a little bit because you've been cooperative, and they tell you like this earthquake just now like collapsed our whatever blah 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 blah. He says, but our main hall is still, we can still get there, but we have to go around. And they kind of go through a ways, and they get to this main hall, and the one the one leader, I think, brings you over to this this spot that's like it's again like maybe it's a whole halfling sized kind of hole the way you've kind of been going through, but it's perfectly round. Like it's really smooth. These other ones are a little bit, they just kind of dug something out or whatnot. And he says, okay. He says, we have learned to never be too, there's never such a thing as being too careful. So he says, now it's time to prove it. And he says, stick your hand in this hole of truth. So you put your hand in, and the rock kind of cinches up around it, like right above the elbow joint where the bone is, so you can't.
I do my best not to react because I want to show that I trust them.
Right. And then they say, okay, now tell us again. Are you a demon?
No. I'm not even from this realm. I'm from the one up there.
And
Unfazed. Well done. Good poker
and
face.
then it kind of dawns on you for a second that you're maybe some percentage now.
Yeah.
And this thing kind of you can tell there's some kind of like divination magic to it, and it kind of starts like
crunching a little bit.
Yeah, crunching, and you feel like some sharp blades at different points on your fingers and hands, but then it kind of ratchets and shudders, and it kind of doesn't really work, but it doesn't know if you're kind of lying or telling the truth, and it kind of like magically overheats and just shuts down, and they're like they start kind of talking to the wizard, the one that this looks like his kind of area, and he's kind of like it's a strange, really strange thing.
I say to him, this magic's not going to work on me. I'm
too powerful.
You
hear them. Your arm is still locked in there, and you hear them say, "We gotta kill him now."
No, I say,
I'm too powerful for your magic. His arm's stuck in there, though. We could kill him from here.
Let's just leave him there till he starts to death.
I say to him, I bridge the line between the two worlds. I am not either. I'm neither demon nor non-demon at this point.
They say daywalker.
Yeah. I can walk out in the sun and not get burned. It's fine.
Yeah. And so I think you kind of I think the wizard has to come up, and his machine is broken.
He's got like a wrench in one hand.
I don't know. But there are a lot more of these rat guys in here.
Yeah.
And they the one that's that wizard type, I think he casts he says, will you submit to a zone of truth?
Yes.
And so he casts a zone of truth. You can willingly fail to save. You are
I have no resistance.
You are bound to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And he just says, Is what you just said the truth?
I've been bitten. That's where I am. Yes.
So they talk amongst themselves some more. They maybe ask you kind of like some follow-up questions and whatnot, but you kind of end up spending just more and more time with you. You keep doing things that they kind of learn to trust you, and they kind of piece this together after a little bit, like this.
I put together a child's toy. Give it to them.
It's a weird situation. And so they kind of start to tell you that they can't. He says nobody can fight a open war against the demons, but he says they are just like a race of creature here that. It's hard to say that any creature is like good here, but they have just tried to figure out a way to live.
At least
here.
be neutral.
They've just tried to live here, and it's just a brutal way of life. But they have figured out these protection magics and anti-divination magics to keep themselves hidden and obscured underground. And they have been coming up through that in that Hall of the Heretic. They'll tell you kind of how they came upon it and learned about it, and they'll show you this little shrine to their kind of ratkin deity here.
I tear it down and I say, "Helm forever!" No, just kidding. I don't do that.
And the ratkin has like a beard and a shield, kind of like.
It's like a rat version of.
It doesn't look like Helm at all, but like you kind of feel that strand of.
It's more of a protection
divinity.
god.
Yeah, you can
them.
feel that strand of kinship with these with
Sure.
this deity. Like they kind of worship a different facet of Helm, maybe. And so they kind of bring you in over this evening. You guys kind of sit and eat and drink around their campfire, or their little, whatever this kind of commons area that they would have in this underground place. Maybe there's like a little underground spring that's kind of nearby too.
Yeah, not of blood or of sulfur water or anything like that. It's real.
No.
Okay.
But they and
It's not
they,
like Mexico to get Montezuma's
Nope,
revenge.
none of that here.
Okay,
None of that
good.
here, yep. And they kind of tell you like that's kind of how they've had to live here. But they'll give you the mace back.
Okay.
And they'll say after all this zone of truthing and kind of talking to you, they're kind of, at first they were like almost too scared to trust it, but then they realize that you're telling the truth and you are who you are, and they say we respect what they call the heretic, and they say we aren't here to throw away our lives, but they say we will try to help you how we can. They say once we can get through this earthquake, rubble, some of the collapsed tunnels, they say we've tunneled everywhere.
Knowing that.
And they say
Okay.
they say you have given us your trust and goodwill, and we should give this to you. And out of the pack of rats, they bring this plate armor to you that has your
Sigil?
crest and your sigil. Yep.
Nice. I was just gonna ask
Yeah,
him, like,
yeah.
have you seen this sigil
Yeah.
anywhere else?
Yeah.
And
But
it's
they
a small.
apparently, yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's a little bit. It's a little bit. Yeah.
It fits me perfectly.
No, you're small and it's way big.
Chunk.
Yeah. And you're like, oh right, and your little hands stick out the side. Yeah. All right.
Yay.
So do you have that? Is it me? Do I have that? Do you have the sheet that has all your? Look on the very back of your pages here. Did I print off
Yes.
something for you?
Yes.
You have the plate mail now.
I have Soren's Steel Will.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, read it.
Requires attunement by a paladin. Speaking of, I
Yes. Adjust your character sheet accordingly.
Okay.
And look over it so you know how to use those abilities. You get to rest here over this night with them. And then we'll figure out where you go from here.
Give me all of my stuff back.
Yep.
Alright, good.